One and all, this matchup delivered my favorite game of the week so far. And I'm sure these two will not disappoint. 3DB up against Killjadi. Jeanne in the hands of B, Killjadi to the French, and we hop into Lipany for this. Yes, I am, of course, referring to that Vortex versus Balteam game earlier, which is definitely going to feature on the channel if it's not already up. Worth checking out. That was an insane game between the Swede and the Spaniard. I'm hoping we get just as much out of the Russian and the Finn. Yeah, so looking at the gold spawns already, a little bit of a does that look like it's further away for Killjadi? Yeah, that gold is pretty far out there. B's is front facing, but it's a little bit tight at the base. We're going 2x speed just to catch up a little bit as we go into age 2. And no surprise here, we have got School of Cavalries. Shocker. But this is a fun matchup in my eyes. I think the first few clashes offer up a very interesting dynamic in which either side can take a dominant lead. It's snowbally in some ways like a mirror would be, but I don't think to the same degree, and that's why I like it more, because there's still variability in the way these civs approach. For example, in a French matchup, if one guy loses 2 knights, it feels like GG unless he slips up again. But with the dynamics on how French works their economy and how Jeanne works their economy in military, I think you have just enough difference between the two that it keeps it very nail-bitey for those first few engagements. So tech ups completing on each side. One thing to keep in mind is Killjadi should have the edge here for the first 5 minutes of feudal age. Then Jeanne gets a little bit of an advantage, and then it pivots back the other way when you go long feudal. So all about power spike understanding. So the logic here is early on in feudal, French will just have a huge economical advantage here. Look at the difference already. You've got a 2-worker lead that will become a 3rd when Jeanne converts. And then Jeanne, when she starts consecrating, once you get 2 or 3 consecrations, you can argue that she starts to come back a bit. But you don't even get that consecration straight away. That's one of the tricky things that people have encountered with Jeanne in this matchup. It just gives an inherent edge at a critical point in the game. And the reason why I've been leaning French over Jeanne in this matchup is the point in the game where it gives an edge is the point in the game where we're talking about pro scouts. That's very important here. These matches semi-live at the moment? Yes. This one should have been started recently. I don't have the exact timings or whatnot. But yeah, we're kind of like semi-live here. I.e., this matchup happened within like the last hour. So pretty close. With Jeanne getting a consecration shot when leveling up, be OP or a good bug? A consecration shot? Oh, you mean like getting it earlier? I don't feel like she needs it. I'd say save that type of buff for a point where like she feels weak. In the Pro Scouts meta, she isn't weak, but like this is what I'm talking about, right? Like you just leveled up, congrats. You now have to wait 120 seconds for the first charge. And you just lost a villager. That's a good start though. That was an overextension by Killjadi. He didn't respect. He was in TC range. It's a great bait there by B, dragging attention across. And we have a wall on the front. Yeah, so I'm smiling because when we had the Vortex versus Balteam matchup earlier, this was highlighted as a contention point. It was very interesting. Jeanne can wall like this. French cannot. If French walled here to here, it's irrelevant because of range Jeanne. In a matchup where both sides are expected to just pump knights, the one range unit that exists for the Jeanne faction. Pretty smart. Now it means that you don't have to worry about defending as much, right? Because the dive point's difficult. With the double tree line forward, B has a nice insulation on his spawn. Killjadi does have the knight lead. Very important to remember that. But it's because of what B done. B prioritized pro scouts first. Like, Killjadi's going into it, right? But he went just double scout. And the thing that's quite interesting is what B is doing here. He's pretty much just tanking with scouts wherever he can. Needs to be careful with his Jeanne. The dive is going to come in. And nice reaction time in there. The knight came out just in the nick of time there. Locks any worker kills. Really important. You can't afford to fall behind here. It's already a 4 eco lead for Killjadi. Wait, Twitch offered you a sub? Are you sure that's a real thing? From a legit... I don't know what that would be. I never heard of that before. Yeah, I remember I was given dodgy offers before on Twitch by, like it would just be a Gmail account where it's like, we would like to propose a deal to you where, like, we will give you 500 subs and you can keep, like, 30% of the value of those subs, of the money you get, and you give us the rest. If those that aren't clocking why they do that, money laundering. They're basically offering you to be a money launderer. I'll pass on that. I like the idea of not getting banned on Twitch. Thanks. And also facing legal troubles. Thanks. And maybe funding an illegal operation. Thanks. But thank you very much. Killjardy. Double the night count. This was a problem, though. Like, great. Now what? Wait, what? That's what? What? A big blunder, B! He didn't realize! The missed wall there. 2 worker kills now for Killjardy. Absolutely insane. I can't believe that. He also can't wall it right now. The Knights aren't here yet. Looks like Killjardy does respect that they're coming, though, so backs away. All things considered, could have been drastically worse, but 2 worker losses is a huge deal in this matchup. He needs some sort of counter rotation. Looks like he's moving in, but that's it. Killjardy, he walled it off. Okay, I actually love the way Killjardy's played this. Stopping at 2 scouts is like dangerous, right? You know your opponent's blobbing scouts, you know he can just take away more deer. But walling off like this, we talked about how he couldn't wall near the gold, so he needs to wall deeper anyway. So you might as well get the double whammy of protecting your gold, protecting your economy, but also blocking your opponent's pro scout timing. That's sick. So in the end, it looks like it's going to be a 50-50 split when it comes to the deer. Jeanne moving out for the ball, a little bit of XP from B. It's going to now be moving towards the enemy base. Now, trade-off for these walls is the idle time. There's not much idle time involved in this. A hell of a lot of idle time involved in this. Especially when you consider that Killjardy did not have wheelbarrow. Like a hunting reserve? Yeah, except like we don't let them breed, so we can keep killing them infinitely. In Age of Empires 4, we're stupid. We see deer, we kill all of them until they don't exist. Right? This is the Galapagos turtles issue all over again. They're just so tasty. Do you think dodos went extinct because they were dumb or because they were tasty? Questions in my mind every day of the week. Nice hit there by Killjardy. However, sandwich on the way, and Jeanne is getting ignored, neglected. You got to balance your attention at the party. You don't want people to feel like you don't care about them. You should really care about her as well. Luckily, no more divine arrows. Killjardy will be able to back away. We do not have chivalry yet, though. A little bit of XP from the burn down the wall. Neither side with chivalry here. His Killjardy has to be very careful with the injured knights. In fact, love this. He started to garrison the injured ones in the TC. Great read. Easiest way to do it. You want to know why? Because some of us like to select all army. Haven't you watched Ice Age? True. Ice Age is 100% historically accurate. There is like one mystical detail I don't believe in, though. I don't think the mammoth would have put up with the sloth. I think he would have headbutted him off a cliff. It's bad, all army hotkey? I don't know, man. Sounds like you haven't done enough Fast Castle English Men Arms floods. Dinosaurs in the Ice Age? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Dude, like, of course the dinosaurs would want to be in the Ice Age, right? Because they stay in the Ice Age, they can, like, basically, they can cool themselves off and get super cold so that when the meteor hits, they don't, like, melt. Because it's dude, do you not know how thermodynamics work? All right? Like, cold to beat heat. Like, bro, you just got to make sure that, like, you... Oh, wait. They were too cold, weren't they? Because you got to make sure you're not too cold so that when the heat hits, because if you rapidly change the temperature of something, it can explode. Damn it. This is crazy, though. I can't believe B done this. He went Guildhall tech up, but Killjardy, like, what? He's just going to tech in response now. Yeah, doesn't even look to attack. I mean, he might get in position for it, but, like, Royal Institute play isn't a negative here. As long as your timing is right. If he waits too long, it's bad. And he's kind of waiting too long. Please tell me. Yeah, he has cut production. It's just the deceptive nature of, like, gathering deer, right? Like, he's barely, like, a second away from having what he needs. It's just, it shows like he's ages away. So there we go. Royal Institute on the way. Needs to skirt the fight now. He's waited too long. B's going to have the veterancy, so he'd win the initial engagement. B. I wonder... Is there a way you could just camp this? I don't think so. Like, the relics are going to be too important. So you know you have to be present, because if you're not, Guildjadi's going to take 5 relics. He could Guildhall as well. So here's the crazy thing. Guildjadi's doing what's expected. This is what you're meant to do. Right? Like, anyone who plays French right now, can we agree? Like, you're in the French mirror. Basically, this is what you're meant to do. This is how you die. Because if you do not go Royal Institute and your opponent does, that's an 80 HP difference per knight in a matchup where you're only building knights. So what does B do? You just saw it there. It's the only logical play. He switches Arbitrier. This isn't about winning the melee mosh pit now. This is the long con. If this goes into Imperial Age, Guildjadi's up Craps Creek without the paddle. Because Guildhall. Guildhall on late game, gold gen, infinite. And with Arbitrier and Consecration, you can pretty much sustain off of Guildhall alone as long as you're not just being a lemming with your Arbitrier. Other thing that worries me is Guildjadi can't scout deep enough, right? Like, that's the other kind of cool thing about B's walling. Because Guildjadi won't break it, his scout can't actually tell him what's happened. Now, he could probably anticipate when he just checks the knights and sees no raw bloodlines. Like, we're kind of at the point where B would have got it by now. But sometimes players delay that until like 20 knights, so it's not a guaranteed read on the situation. Up Craps Creek without a puddle? Yeah, I say the less rude version. I meant to swear, but I'm a good boy when I cast. 26 gold between him and breaking in. Lemmings don't... Wait. What do you mean lemmings don't? I've watched lemmings stupidly walk off of a cliffside. You know what? You know how I know lemmings do that stuff and they're that dumb? I didn't build the bridge. What a bunch of idiots. And I was out of umbrellas too. Do I look like an umbrella shop? No. Okay, so Guildjadi going into Monk play now. Level 3 Jeanne is in effect. They're both monking at the same time. He even secured 2 sacred sites, which is just kind of wild. Yeah, what? I mean, look, like Jeanne, usually you feel a bit risky moving out, but the fact he's been able to pivot her out into 2 sacred sites already is kind of crazy. Against mass French knights, that's super dangerous. What scares me though is Guildjadi, like, what do you have here? You got royal bloodlines, great, you know, there's 35% increase in health. What about the increase in damage? This is the trade-off. B has got enough knights to tank and then arbitrate to win. And the scarier part still is midway through the fight, when you think you're just about to start breaking that front line, Jeanne is going to be like, we are not dead. And then everyone just feels healed. Divine Restoration, in a nutshell. You shall not die. Okay, well, Jeanne deemed it so I guess I won't die. Oh, God, Guildjadi. This is going to be a massacre. The knights on the west side are completely overwhelmed as well. He's going to dive to the back. So ripple effect to the back side of this fight, but the Arbitrator start stepping. Jeanne standing at ground, and this is ugly, man. Guildjadi. Knights are going to get wiped out. Arbitrator going to survive. Guildjadi, I said he's up Craps Creek without a paddle. Mate, he's sitting at the bottom of the river there. Sunk. Without a lifeboat. And B... Oh, his lifeboat was always sitting there, right? The Guildhall has been generating the food. Ready for that ageful play if necessary. Guildjadi will now have to switch into the farms. This is bad. He has generated a lead with the French. He's almost 10 villages ahead. Negatives is the value of the consecrations. Stables, Arbitrier, non-stop pumping. And Guildhall will balance this out to be in favor of B. Been seeing this matchup more lately? Yeah, it's because French and Jeanne is like high prior picks now. Beastie deemed it, and therefore it was, right? He highlighted that he thought they were S-tier civs. People took a serious look at them. They understood from a drafting POV, it's clearly valuable because he just keeps playing into them. And thus, everyone started committing. And it's a value play. It's definitely proven worth it. Right? In a Pro Scouts meta, already made a lot of sense, but it's also just the scalability of the play off of Royal Institute is insane. The way that you play Pro Scouts safely, allowing you to potentially bypass the guild hall, another insane detail. The fact that walling is harder now, and this is a raiding civ, like there was a lot of details together that just made French and Jeanne feel so much better than we were being the credit for in 2024. What's my opinions on the prevalence of Pro Scouts? Oh, buddy, you have not been tuning into enough streams. I almost feel like I'm daily taking a crap on Pro Scouts being a negative for AoE 4. Pro Scouts in this current format is not good. It's very bad. They've created a very linear meta. You can argue that occasionally another strategy wins, but when 90% plus of the games is Pro Scouts, that's bad. And it's crazy that there's a bunch of people that would argue against it. I'm not saying that Pro Scouts should not be viable. I'm just saying it shouldn't be the dominant force to that degree. There'll always be a dominant force because there'll always be a meta optimal. But when the percentile is at 90% plus, you have a problem. Right? You want to be looking at like 50, 60%. That's still dominant, but it gives versatility. Giljadi, I'm not sure what his versatile play to get back in this is. He's building arbitrary from behind. He's a mile behind as well. Not just that. It could get a lot worse. The guild hall actually did get pulled short of the Imperial timing. Knights were trying to raid. They did actually force a little bit of other time here. But B, there's not really much to stop him going in here. No, he needs to because Giljadi did luck out on the gold spawn in the corner. Very safe back here. Heat drop is at least going to protect the main, but I'm more concerned about his gold access. It's going to be a re-wall behind this, so protection there. Yeah, B, I guess he just felt a bit overly pressured, like he needed additional knights at home to defend against that dive. Relics are coming home, in the end it is going to be a 3-2 split in favor of B. Giljadi has to fill in the clock here. Horseman is the correct call, just very hard in this situation. And that's going to make matters worse. Ordnance Company, I'm surprised it took this long to get to it, actually. But we do have it on the way now. Villagers... Wait, B? What's going on? He's busy diving, isn't he? Yeah, but he gets nothing for it. Does send 1 or 2 knights round, and this could be the kick to the bollocks. If he peels off the knights now, Giljadi's a dead man. This is insane. 30 villagers are out of the base right now. B, he does see it. He gets it vision. Did he see? Yep, there we go. Knights are on the move. So just peel them off. Go hunting. Let loose the hounds of war. Villagers are going to try to run back the other way. B does also see that. Could react. Instead, he's going to commit to the further out ones that are now stuck in no man's land. This is the entire lead. If he finds it. He turns around. He's still at the knights back here, remember? But it's only 2, so Giljadi could get a handful of these home. I can't believe that. They're actually going to live. They go into the berries instead. Arbitrary are going to be able to reach. Knights go for the dive in. So finally, 21.5 minutes in, B kills the first villager. Yes, you heard that correctly. It took this long. Crazy, actually, how many things took this long. No cantor saddles, no chivalry earlier than this point in the game for B. Nice. Oh my god, this is sick. The arbitrary on the high ground. Good luck catching me. That's so smart. Unfortunately, it's into horsemen. Had it been into knights, this would have been sick. He beast drops the high ground, though, and is able to block out the farms. Mate, this game has so many thumbnailable moments. I love it. And I love this. Oh my god, he got in good. The massacre is real. Several more worker kills. It's adding up. Giljadi's entire economy lead is gone. A 5 worker difference between the two. And now B plays out risk. Because Giljadi has no knights. He has 4. He can't raid. By the way, like, who said that like high ground doesn't give more range to units in AoE4? That's not what I just saw there. Arbitrate just giving you a preview of what would happen if we had that mechanic. Yeah, like, remember, those that don't know, in AoE2, like, high ground gives you a damage buff, right? As well as a range, like a vision buff. We only have vision in AoE4, for better or worse. Killjoy, did he see the outpost? I think so. He goes to the other villages instead. I like that Killjoy's still attacking. He needs to here. Because now there's nothing to stop Beef from just going in. I think he knows it. Oh my god, the knight numbers are not on his side though. Guildhall is ready to be pulled for Imperial. We still have knights riding through the base. Jeanne is here too. Has got the horseman reaction, correctly so. Not sure what I think she was consecrating there. Or he clicked on a villager, so she wasn't moving. Jeanne's riders are going to do great here, though. Look, they've got 7 ranged armor against 12 base damage. So snipes a few more workers. Raiding cavalry has been cleared up. Sacred sites are locked in. I think this is the end of the game. Like, what do you do now as Killjoy? Because B, you know, he may not be popped, but he has to read the military lead for what it is at this stage. Killjoy would have shown a bigger fighting force in his own base otherwise. And the keep drop does give some protection. Someone, like not quite sure of is just how much XP until level 4. It's been reasonable farming. I think B's still some way off, though. And no, he got found. Didn't trust in the outpost either, so villagers running home, and look at the route. This is it. It should have killed him about 5 or 6 minutes ago, but now it most definitely will deliver the killing blow. He even groups them up and surrounds. Killjoy sometimes guilty of staying in the game too long. I don't know if he'll feel there's any way back after this type of hit, though. Especially with the follow-up. That guild hall is ready to burst. 1,840 food. I mean, Killjoy, he's trying to react Horseman as a counter here. I get the thought process. One of the tricky parts, though, is that Gambuson's tech is a Castle Age tech, not an Imperial Age tech. So B already has a substantial amount of resistance to melee damage. And now, it's going to get tankier and scarier. Red Palace on the way. Wolves coming up as well to make it safe. To make it worse, Killjoy can actually see it. It's Horseman, though, against Textiles. Surely not. It'll take a miracle. There's more villagers here. He can just commit them all. Knights are coming to guard this. Meanwhile, a dive into the base as Killjoy was trying to recover with 2 TC. Oh, this is Farm Central. John's a Facebook gamer. I know she plays Farmville all day and all night. You want the proof? It's on your screen right now. That XP bar is just going up. And Killjoy is going down in game number 1. What timing as well. Intercept the TC while teching. Cost a few villagers over here, sure, but totally worth it. And Jeanne de Blast has arrived. She can birth a cannon in, what, 30 seconds? She can even start sieging herself now. No denying it at this stage. Sick game by B. Matchup that just delivers as well, man. Like, I'm convinced. I think right now, French and Jeanne going at it may be my favorite matchup. Close, dude. It's kind of crazy as well. Like, it's a pseudo mirror. You'd think I'd kind of hate it. I've made my opinions on them clear in the past, but it's an aggressive mirror. I think that's what I love about it. Aggressive pseudo mirror. There's differences, and even with those differences, it's still all about attacking. Let me know what you think in the comments, though, and I'll catch you in the next chapter. Let's get down in the dirty here. Killjoy, how did you pull this one off? You got Zhu Xi through the B. How did you pull this one off? One and all, we have Rus and Zhu Xi making it through the draft. Crazy. I can't believe I just said that, but they divvied up, right? HRE banned on both sides, but one banned Zhu Xi, the other banned Rus. And they're going to put their most powerful foots forward here on Dry Arabia. Interesting one. So Pro Scouts War, Zhu Xi do have some power to throw around there with the increased production rates. Also meditation guns, which, by the way, Killjadi's looking for a good one. Yeah, he scouted out, seeing if there's anything better. So it's going to be a medi garden at home. Food, gold, wood. It's going to be like, what, about 80 resources in total? Maybe like 75. It's acceptable. Yeah, so Zhu Xi versus Rus. You're tempting to say that Rus just have it better because Horse Archer spam, but I wouldn't write Zhu Xi off, not with Dali Horse's tech. I think Dali Horse's tech is a very interesting contest point, and so are the relics with Shallow Monks. Remember, Shallow Monks have a buff that allows them to temporarily reduce the damage they take from ranged attacks by 50%. I heard that number correctly. The importance of that is it means that you can force Horse Archers to commit onto you, and then Lancers to defend it, and the Horse Archers won't be able to kill you quickly. So definitely need something to keep an eye on here. Is there a world in which we potentially see a long feudal? Yes. Zhu Xi have got Zhuge Nu as well. That's something B's going to have to answer for. I'm a little bit concerned if he goes for a raw fast castle and a Zhuge Nu spam on the other side. Horse Archers won't save your bacon, so you have to go men at arms. That could be a bit linear, a bit predictable. We'll just have to see if Killjadi's able to read it. What do you guys think? When you've been seeing this matchup, do you like Rus more or Zhu Xi? Rus 1, Zhu Xi 2. I don't see enough people playing this minigame on the YouTube videos either. You're also invited to make predictions. We don't judge. Goal isn't always get it right. Goal is to start kind of exploring why you think these things. He favors Zhu Xi. Well, let's see how he wants to play. It is, of course, going to be Stables beginning because Pro Scouts is king. Looking at the deer spawns, B's already got the shove in. This is a bit frustrating, but Killjadi does at least have the back spawning deer. Other one, kind of reasonable. So I expect a 50-50 split here. The reason's this, right? Killjadi already has scouts on the way. Pro Scouts coming in insanely fast when he wants to. Boom. Supervision in 30 seconds. It's a 45-second window. Meanwhile, you're going to be able to change the scout dynamic here, right? Catch up to your opponent. Because usually at this point, you can kind of justify double imp official. If he does, and there it is queued, he can supervise the stables to vomit out scouts. And it means that B won't have a lead. These are the things that make me kind of favor the Zhu Xi here. Because the thing is, you're like, oh, but KP, building 2 Imperial officials. Oh, me oh my. He's sacrificing villagers. And meanwhile, B has got hunting cabins. Well, you know what they say about sacrificing? Sometimes it gets you a blessing from corn. Sometimes you're able to become a great demon. Sounds like it could be worth it. Almost as worth it as our free offer of Opera GX this month. Exclamation mark, Opera GX. Use the sign up link, guys. So, to that point of sacrificing Imperial officials, is it really a sacrifice or is it a trade out? Yeah, I lose a villager, but I get 20% more resources. Doesn't seem that bad when you say it like that. Because at 20 villages, let's say I supervise and only gather wood and food, damn, that's like 4 extra villages. And I've only sacrificed building 2. So you see the positives of it, right? It's the same logic as to why HRE would build a prelate out of their TC if they didn't have Archon. It's way too good of a trade to give up. And that's before we talk about the tax on top. So, Rax opening from Killjadi. He's going to go for the classic contest onto the Rus. Yeah, but do we go archer range here? I feel like for this to make sense for Killjadi, you're usually thinking archer range, right? Unless he just wants to contest the fast castle. We did talk about Dali horses. One negative I'll say about Dali horses, as much as I hype it up and think it's incredible and a cool tech, very unique take for this Zhu Xi, it doesn't come into the picture that quickly often. So maybe that's the concern for Killjadi. Why he wants to maybe take a more aggressive line here. We do have quite a lot of wood being gathered. Usually that's indicative of additional production coming through. P. Don't mind if I do. You want to shoot the deer for me? You're such a nice guy. Oh, this is so bad for Killjadi as well. He's distracted with the dive. So he doesn't realize what's happened here, right? Yeah, okay, he reallocates across on the elves at the other side. I'm not liking the look of this for Killjardy right now. He tried to go lean on the scouts to go hard on the horsemen. B's already got enough home. He can do the tech up and then come back for the final D stack afterwards. This feels like it could be a men-at-arms opening. Maybe feels that it's a bit slow. If this wasn't against a Civ that can fast castle, you probably just MAA. But like, there's a risk that what B does is he looks across and says, "Oh man, you've got like a lot of units right now. No way you're saving for attack." If that's the sense he gets, then MAA can make sense and you just follow up with spears. He might just want something fast though. Nice start step, Killjardy, just trying to deny the pro scouts in the back. Tech up, ready to begin. High trade house. Could he drop it here? He could actually do that. He could drop it right here on the berries as well, but yeah, he just takes the nice little slot he set up there. So get your numbers in, folks. High trade house coming through soon. And it is going to be the racks. Okay. It's just too good to not do here, right? Like, Killjardy could react lances, but you can solve out of this building with that as well with spearmen. And the whole idea is, like, if he's going to open lances, you can just switch spears and then add in horse archers because of how much you're saving on spears instead of men-at-arms. Other crazy thing about these type of plays by Rus, any other Civ does this, there's an exposure point, the gold. Killjardy would be diving it right now, saying, "Why do you think you can go Castle Age? Why do you think you can build men-at-arms on me?" Meanwhile, Rus, just these buildings here, not to mention the one you guys are now calculating for the value of. It's enough gold to afford MAA blob, if need be. Killjardy now mirroring. Shallow Monastery on the way. Did he kind of forget about Tang? It looked like he gathered the 1200, 600. He might have just been distracted. But remember, with Tang Dynasty, you get the tech up cheaper as Zhu Xi. See? Oh, wait. Wrong guy. There you go. So yeah, you save yourself 270 resources. Quite a pretty penny, actually. That's more than enough for your first Shallow Monk. Oh my god, dude. I've seen B do this before. This is the infinite spear blob build. If you've not seen B before, buckle yourselves in. It almost feels dirty how often he's made this work. It's just math. At the end of the day, he's just playing math. Like any Zerg player would, right? Remember, this guy used to be a Zerg main on StarCraft 2. All about getting the count up as quickly as you can. So moves in, contests the pro scouts. Jigany reactions coming in, so there's going to be a second element to this from B. There's no way your plan was to just build mass spears against Zhu Xi. That's a death sentence. So presumably he's looking for the men-at-arms switch. No, there we go. It's going to be archery ranges added in. So we've got men-at-arms and crossbows as a potential here. This is pretty sick. Killjardy has got double Shallow Monk out though. So like the trade-off for B is he's won the Pro Scouts game. He got like what? 3 deer stacks at least? Close to at least. The trade-off here is that Killjardy should be able to get all the relics. Or at least I'd say 4 of them. Because B going Spearman doesn't give him like good map momentum here. What's the ratio of 1v1 and team game players in this game? We talked about this before. Like, there's a lot more accounts ranked for team. But then, like, you know, in terms of, like, which one gets more frequent games, etc., it's deceptive because, obviously, you need, in some cases, 4 times the players. But the game is definitely designed and marketed around 1v1. But there's more than enough team players. So, spam and spam. It's working out initially. It needs to catch up with the Warrior Monk, though. He does see the relic, but it's very difficult to kill a Shallow Monk with spears. Remember, he has 2 melee on the base. Oh, B. Just trying to intercept the cavalry. Trying to control the narrative here. Killjardy, things are looking pretty good, guys. He's got 3 relics soon. So B, he does still have enough Warrior Monks to get the other 2. High Trade House is also going to generate 127, so he's ahead. But Killjardy's going to look to get ahead. He's prepping for Yuan Dynasty, a really big deal with the pagodas, allowing him to generate 250 resources instead of 80 per relic. Spearman blob, though. It's 2 worker kills. Nothing to turn your nose up at. And on top of that, are you kidding me? Is he actually going to... Oh, come on. What? He doesn't get the other one, but he snatches from inside the base. Warrior Monk's still going to die. It's just too much firepower. But there's a second one here. The yoink is underway. This man is insane. B, what are you doing to him? Pulls away. The hardest to reach of the three available. And now it's Spear Crossbow versus Zhu Palace Guard. I mean, technically, ranged units countering both pieces on the other side. However, we only just got the veterancy. We do not even have bolt magazines for the additional DPS into spears. And B, by a mile, has the numerical advantage here. I think Killjody's going to struggle with this. Zhuge Nu count isn't high enough. And the runaway is difficult. Spearman easily able to chase you down. So now Killjody pinned in his base. And really, this is kind of his own gluttony that caused this. Look at his resources. He's consistently been maintaining 1,000-ish food in reserve looking for Yuan. It's just B punishing him for it. And the men-at-arms switch now is what could easily be the nail in the coffin. Killjody hasn't pivoted yet. He's still going Zhuge and Palace Guard. Man, this guy is crazy, these Spearman blobs. I've seen him do this so many times now, and it's crazy how many players fall for it. You can kind of forgive them for it. But it's still brutal to watch how easily he sweeps over them with it. Decap pause over here. Meanwhile, B is getting ready for a dive now. This is a stage where you probably be thinking about Nesta Bs. Killjody, that can save you a lot of pressure here. The PG, are they going to be able to last long enough before the men-at-arms breakthrough is my concern. Yeah, Killjody seems to feel it too. That's why he's going crossbows. If this was just more crossbows, let's say like, 75% ranged, you'd go Nesta Bs. But because the men-at-arms threat, you have a problem here. More flanks. Oh, looks like he is going to get found out here gathering. So good interception on the ball. Looks like he found a few worker kills there, actually. Yeah, he gets all but one of them. Big hit by Killjody. A much needed one as well. Kumba is going to get involved in the engagement, though. I'm sure they're fine. Nah, the PG have to run. Men-at-arms on the way. B has slowed down quite a bit here. Meanwhile at home, double blacksmiths. Yeah, because they've both been kind of lagging in that department, but Killjody has a huge edge, right? He can supervise for these techs. So B basically needs to respect the potential for Mass Zhuge to actually hit like a truck. So, despite the craziness, Killjody has kind of re-established himself in a reasonable way. He's definitely not ahead. He's not a mile behind, though. Like, High Trade House is generating a lot. 3 relics, 2 sacred sites. There's an argument that, like, B has got clear economical lead. My concern is that Killjody's army still feels weird. Even more with this. That's toxic. He may not have the undermesh, folks, but the Saint's Blessing is just as good. Killjody immediately has to remove that. This is where Zhuge Nu can potentially carry. It's 7 damage into 4 ranged armor, i.e. you're hitting for 9 damage. It just still doesn't feel quick enough. No, the crossbow is now trading out that backline nicely. More men-at-arms arriving. Killjody was so adamant about denying the ball play. He may have just denied himself a chance to be in this series. Let's push back into the base. B now able to reset, and with the access to the boars, he's got more than enough food to keep pumping. There's a growing risk that Killjody is going to have to transition into farms first against a ticking time bomb in the sacred sites. Not just that, I'd be more concerned that B would look to dive you if you do that transition. 1,000 wood gathered up so far by Killjody, so clearly committing. B on the other side still has berries everywhere. And with map control, he can tap all of them. Where's the Fabled LAN? We are going to be the host for the Garrison LAN happening in Hamburg, starting on the 13th of March. Yeah, there'll be an Age of Empires 2 event, and then on the side there'll be an Age of Empires 4 and Age of Myth event. Kiljadi. He's really trying to avoid going for that transition. Oh boy. No. You keep the blind spot, B. He knows he has to go for food somewhere. He reads it perfectly. And Kiljadi doesn't even react. Gets right on top of him. Start step chase. No getting out of this. Kiljadi. Half the villagers are going to die to this dive. No textiles. Something he has to be greatly regretting at this stage. Goes to seek shelter, but it kind of costs him more hanging around there. B now with a 13 villager lead. No real counterattack happening here. Sacred sites have been decapped, yes, but B doesn't have to care about that detail. It's a Roriko lead now. That was insane. Out of all the points to be able to dive to find, he finds the one. The only that matters. And now a second wave arrives in the base. Be able to see through that tree line. At this stage, Kiljadi is just getting pulled two ways. I can't believe he's still hemorrhaging additional economy in this situation. Man, crazy how quickly this turned from what still felt like maybe about a 40, 60, 45, 55 split into what is now an 80-20 easily. Yeah, maybe 85. The only reason I'm giving some credit to Kiljadi is Nesta Bees. Nesta Bees against mass crossbows can completely flip the game. The B, I wonder, you know, he does need to think about those farms soon. Is there another way he could go here? Yeah, I wasn't going to say it out loud because it feels really ballsy. Limited food, he's going Horseman. If he can find that timing, Kiljadi's just dead. He hasn't got front line at all. That's why B's doing it. Kiljadi, I mean, can he even afford to go spears with lack of food? No. It's what makes it such a great read by B. He sees the army, he sees the state of the food. It's a dead brain giveaway, right? Like, just go in with the blob. Dives into the base, or dives into the main, rather, after this fight, and that'll be enough to force it. Like, there's no getting away from it. Nesta B's out front lining. They're not even clocked out variant. They can't get good shots in. The Saint's Blessing, once again, coming in clutch. And B will make it a solid 2-0.